You and I, we're a lot alike. Every day, we wake up and do the same grind, over and over. You know, whether it's school or work, we spend almost half of our entire day just doing something we hate. So of course it's natural that whenever we come home, there is something that we love to indulge in. And for many of us, it's video games. But in all honesty, what's the first thing you do before you sit down and plug in your old Super Nintendron to play Bloodborne 2? You go pee. That's right, if you're anything like me, and I know you are, then you immediately go to the toilet when you get home from work to relieve all of that negative energy that you built up during your day into a stream of pure hatred into the toilet. And we do this because it's such a relief to be able to just let the waterfall flow, man. Break down the dam and let the waterfall flow. Okay? I honestly had no transition to go into what I'm talking about, so we're talking about toilets in video games. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Dylan, how did you come up with such an ingenious topic? Well, let me tell you, it came quite naturally. When you think of video game toilets, which games come to mind? See, for me, it was Half-Life 2, because that game added a lot of interactivity within the environment for many players. And when I started playing it again, just last week actually I forgot that the toilets flushed. And before sexy, snazzy games like Dishonored and Deus Ex came out, Half-Life 2 is really the first game to sort of let players interact with just about everything in the environment. Whether you pick up a soda can, or you break a box, or flush a toilet. I was a little young when it first came out, and I think I was playing more Halo 2 at that time, but when I did play Half-Life 2, I feel like I still had the appropriate reaction, like, oh my god, this toilet flushes when I click this button on it. Believe it or not, back in the day, that was a really cool thing. Because you see, in most games prior to Half-Life 2, toilets were just in the bathroom as a decoration. They were just there to let you know, this is a bathroom. And that was fine on its own, but it was nothing special. And nowadays, toilets have become a much more important part of our gaming lives. And to be completely honest, it actually still boggles me that I can't flush a toilet in every single game that I play nowadays. I know it's something small and stupid, but it adds a lot of immersion to a video game if I click a button while looking at a toilet and it flushes. But you know, some games have really gone above and beyond with their toilet interaction. How many of you have played Fallout 3? And if you have, do you remember the first time you played it? I guarantee you know exactly what I'm going to talk about right now. See, in Fallout 3, anytime you look at a toilet or a urinal, there's a button prompt that comes up that says activate. So my first time playing it, I was like, yeah, look at this thing. It's disgusting. There's like 7 diseases in there. So many things, I just don't know what it is. I want to be a good citizen, and I want to flush this toilet so that, you know, the next person who comes in, they don't have to deal with it. Little did I know. Whenever you activate a toilet in Fallout 3, your character bends over and cups a sip out of the toilet. You are drinking from this irradiated, disgusting, poop-infested toilet. I know it's gross, I know. The first time I saw that happen, I was thinking to my character, like, what are you doing? What is your problem? This isn't what I wanted for myself. I can never look at you the same way with the things that you just did. And you know, the interesting part is, like, it actually kind of makes sense that this is what happens when you activate a toilet in Fallout 3. Because drinking from a toilet actually replenishes your health a tiny bit. At the same time, depending on how clean the toilet is, it also gives you radiation damage. And in a game that's kind of set around people trying to survive the apocalyptic setting, I can't think. I'm thinking about toilets. It makes sense that you're drinking from toilets, as disgusting as they are, because water is such a rare resource in that game, so it makes sense. But you know, there's one other game that has actually made the toilet, the video game toilet, a core gameplay mechanic. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, I don't want to be playing a game where I'm just pooping all the time. And I know, neither do I. But this game does it really well, and it does it in a way that actually adds to the gameplay. I'm sure many of you have heard of the game called The Sims. In a game where you play a virtual life with a character who has day-to-day needs that you have as well in real life, the toilet is going to be a necessity. And depending on whether your sim drank a lot or ate a lot, is going to determine if they have to go number 1 or number 2. It's a gross and very weird mechanic, but let's be real, if it wasn't in The Sims, the game just wouldn't be the same. Some of these games treat toilets with the respect and the care that they deserve. And I bet from now on that whenever you're going to go play a video game and you see a toilet in it, because you watched this video, you're gonna try to interact with that toilet. You're gonna see if you can flush it, you're gonna see if you can pee in it, you're gonna see if you can drink from it. Maybe even in that order. And I know that it's stupid, alright, I get it. I understand that, oh wow, I can flush a toilet in a video game. 10 out of 10. But see, being able to flush a toilet like this just makes the game so much more immersive to me. And not every game has to be immersive, but in a game like Fallout 3, which does have its faults, but that game just bleeds atmosphere, to be able to interact with the toilet is kind of cool, and I like it. And in Half-Life 2 especially, if you haven't played Half-Life 2, well, I kind of ruined it now, but I would highly recommend playing it just for the toilets. No, it's actually a fantastic game. It's a very fun shooter. It's a little chaotic, but there are toilets in it. Yep. And actually, one more recent game that takes the whole video game toilet flush to the next level is an early access game called Dusk. And in this game, you can actually pick up small objects and put them on the toilet, and whenever you flush the toilet, it flushes the object. It's a small added detail, but it's pretty fun in my opinion, just to be able to do it. I don't know, it's stupid. If there's any takeaway from this video, it's not that video games are lacking in that player to toilet interaction. I mean, they are, and we need more toilet interactions, but it's actually about interactivity within an environment. Immersion is a huge deal to me, and you know, there are a lot more games that I did not discuss that still treat toilets differently than I was talking about. In Duke Nukem Forever, the bad one, I think if you pee in a urinal, it actually replenishes your health. Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. But video game worlds, they're made immersive through the world. It's all about the world design and what you can interact with. That's why people make such a big deal when there are physics to objects. Whenever you just bump into them, some things move. If you smack something, it'll move instead of everything just being like stapled to the ground. And toilets are just another small detail that makes a world feel immersive. If you want to check out my most recent video on smoking in video games, that should be on screen right about now. And if you wanted to watch more content like this, you can always subscribe to watch more videos about weird video game things. So, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video.